I'm recording this for people who are, we have so many absent people. What is Squid Game exactly?
People that are in debt like games win like millions of dollars.
Oh.
No, billions. We failed the game.
Millions for us, billions for them.
Interesting.
No, pretty much.
All right. Do we have our notebooks open? Okay, get your notebooks open. For these digital notebooks, listen please instead of talk. For these digital notebooks, this is the same as last time. Your short story digital notebooks, they had a due date that was way far away, and we worked on them in class. That's exactly what we're going to do with this text structure notebook, okay? So you notice it's not due until November 5th, all right? When you get these open, a lot of you are in the wrong place because you were talking and not paying attention. So get to the right place. It is under classwork, week 9. You should not be in anything that says missed text structure notes. So classwork, week 9 is where you need to be. And you will see your own text structure notebook. This is my text structure notebook. It's not going to help you right now. You need to be able to type on your own. All right, and we are going to start with this slide right here that says text structure. And we're just going to fill in some blanks here so we know what text structure means. So I told you that text structure is how nonfiction is organized. If you turn around, I need to hang up the rest of my posters because this is important now. If you turn around back there in that bulletin board, the one that says text structure, cause and effect, compare and contrast, and problem and solution are up there. We're also going to talk about sequence text structure, spatial text structure, and I'm missing one. Chronological, is that up there? It is not. Chronological is the other one. Okay. All right. So the first blank that we're going to fill in, how text is organized, that's what text structure is. So nonfiction has lots of text structures. So in that very first text box that you have, you can put nonfiction has lots of text structures. We're going to learn about 6 different ones. Okay. And when you're reading nonfiction, it's not like the whole thing is going to be one text structure. It could be different in every single paragraph. The author might change their text structure. So each paragraph may be a different text structure. Okay. So your first blank that you're going to fill in is nonfiction has lots of text structures. And then you've got each paragraph may be a different text structure. All right. Are we ready for the last one, or are we still catching up? Okay. All right, and our very last one is we're going to learn about 6 different types of text structures. So like I said, we'll learn compare and contrast, chronological, cause and effect, problem and solution, sequence, and spatial. Those are all the text structures we're going to talk about. And we'll look at some different nonfiction articles and figure out what the text structure is. And remember, the whole article probably won't be the same text structure. It can change every single paragraph. All right, can I go to the next slide, or are we finishing this one up?
No, wait, no, go.
Okay. All right. If you didn't get this, they are in the classroom stream, and and you can go back and get what you need, okay? So our first of our 6 text structures is chronological. So chronological, the only thing you have to type here is it's in order of time. You have the rest on there, okay? The chronological is in order of time. So when you're reading something chronological, it's going to be like, first this thing happened, then this next event happened.
Like me.
A lot of times you will look for years, okay, or dates. Like in 1855, this happened. In 1900, this happened. In 1910, this happened. That is a good clue to let you know that it's a chronological text structure. Can you guys think of something at school that you read probably almost every day, I'm guessing, that would be written chronologically or in a chronological text structure? It's not in this class, actually, weirdly enough. Leanna? Social studies. You probably read lots of chronological nonfiction in social studies because it's all dates and events of when things happen.
Like in movies, like you watch them in the chronological order.
Movies is a perfect example because that's actually fiction, right? And we're talking about nonfiction, but almost all fiction is written chronologically as well. The narrative essays that you just wrote, did you write them in the order that the events happened? Yes. Yeah, like first this thing happened, then this thing happened. Those were chronological as well. Okay. So when you're looking for chronological, look for dates. It's an easy way to figure out what text structure is there. All right. Next one we have is sequence. So all you have to write down for sequence is steps that are described in the order they occur. Okay, so go ahead and type that. Steps described in the order they occur. And the reason this is different than chronological is because in chronological, time is passing by, okay? So on this date, something happened, and then on this date, something happened. It may even be the same day. Like this morning, something happened, and then later in the day, something happened. But in a sequence text structure, they're literally just telling you how to do something. Do any of you watch like YouTube videos to find out how to do something? Yeah, like to follow directions to learn how to do something. Those would be sequence text structures. They're giving you steps on how to do something. If any of you ever cook and follow a recipe, do you ever do that? Yeah, that would be sequence text structure. Okay. So we've got chronological, order of time, time passes by. And then we've got sequence, which is just step-by-step instructions. This right here, for each text structure, we're going to have a graphic organizer that matches it. For chronological, it's just a timeline. Have you guys seen timelines like in social studies? Yeah. For sequence, it's going to look like this. And you would just write the steps that the author's describing. These graphic organizers are eventually going to help us write summaries for nonfiction articles. But I just kind of wanted to show them to you today so you knew what they were. So maybe you are watching something on, I don't know, how to do your makeup, okay? And you would put step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4.
My mom put makeup on me yesterday, and I did not.
Did she watch a sequence video to teach her how?
No.
All right. Next text structure is cause and effect. So this one, explains the reasons why something happened or explains the effects of something. So it's going to tell you what caused something to happen or the effects of something. So maybe you're in science class and you were reading about natural disasters, okay? Maybe you're reading about a tornado, okay? So the effect would be the tornado, and then what caused the tornado. So maybe hot and cold air meeting, an unstable atmosphere. I don't know enough about tornadoes to go all the way through here. But you're trying to figure out what caused the tornado, and that would be a cause and effect text structure. And for this graphic organizer, you would just put the effect and then the causes. Or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe you have one cause and a whole bunch of effects. So sometimes you'll have to change the graphic organizers to match what you're reading. Okay, so chronological is in what order? Time order. Good. What does sequence do? It gives you what? Okay, step-by-step directions. And cause and effect explains why something happens or the effects of something. Okay, next one is problem and solution. This one's really simple. It's just what it sounds like. The author is going to give you a problem and give you a solution or maybe more than one solution. So the author states a problem and solutions. It's going to sound a lot like cause and effect. You're going to feel like you're reading cause and effect, but the way that you know that you're not is the author's also going to tell you a way to solve the problem. Okay? And you don't have to agree with the way that they give you to solve the problem, but if they give you anything to solve the problem, then it's going to be problem and solution. And the graphic organizer we're going to use for this one is right here. This will help us summarize. And again, we would just look for the problem. There may be a solution that the author gives you that didn't work, and then they'll give you a different solution. Sometimes it's just a problem and a solution. Sometimes it's two solutions.
Like in choose your own storybook.
Yep.
Pick which solution.
There you go. Perfect. All right. Are we good with this one?
Yeah. When I was younger, when I did storybooks, I never got it because like I wouldn't even skip between the pages.
Yeah.
And it just wouldn't make sense to me.
Yeah. All right. Next text structure: compare and contrast. The author is going to be showing you what's in common and what's different. Okay, so think of the word compare means to look for similarities. Contrast means to look for differences. So compare and contrast are going to talk about two or more things and tell you how they're the same and how they're different. And the graphic organizer we're going to use for this would look just like this. We'd put whatever the topics are. Maybe it's apples and oranges. How are they alike? How are they different? Okay, very last one, and I already heard Dominic say it correctly. Nice job, because people always want to say spatial, not spatial. What is it, Dominic? Spatial. So spatial, think of the word space, describes what a space such as a room looks like. Okay, so maybe you would be writing a spatial article about this classroom. So you walk in the door and to the right is the whiteboard, to the left is the wall, right beside you is a cabinet. That would be a spatial article. That would be a spatial text description or a text structure. Okay? And the graphic organizer we're going to use for that, you would put like classroom right here and then all the different ways that it looks. So you're describing what the space looks like. And you can remember spatial and space describes what a space looks like. Okay, so our 6 text structures, going back through them really quickly. Chronological comes in what order? Time order. Excellent. Next one we did was sequence, and that gives you what? Steps on how to do something. Next one we did was cause and effect. What does that do? Explains reasons why something happened. Awesome job. Or the effects of something. The author gives you a problem and tells you how to solve it in problem and solution. The author's talking about how two things are similar and different and compare and contrast. And then lastly, the author's describing what a space looks like in the spatial text structure. Right? So these aren't too difficult, right? No? Okay. What I want you to do next, I want you to read these article or short passages here. And I want you to type what you think the text structure is. So you're going to do slides. Let me get yours open here. So slow. Okay, so you're going to do slides 8 through 13. Okay, so you're going to read this one about deviled eggs, type what you think the text structure is at the bottom. And then you're going to read this one about sports at Erickson, type what you think the text structure is. The lazy student, type what you think the text structure is. Failing classes, what do you think the text structure is? Passing classes, what do you think the text structure is? And then lastly, this one about this author's bedroom, what it looks like. Okay, what do you think that text structure is? You will use each one time. Okay, so there's 6 passages. You'll use each text structure one time. So I'm going to give you some time to go through there, see what you come up with. Then we'll talk about them. If you finish before your classmates, use this time to read your books for your book report. Okay, so I'm going to say till 8:30. Okay, 7 minutes. Go through there and see what you can come up with.